Game on, everyone! Battlefield of Eternity, the third place decider. Washed France against the Vikings. And for the Vikings, once again, well, the Swedes, we have Smexy, Wubby and Breez playing. So if you weren't here yesterday, Terror is actually the Smurf account of Breez. So, yeah, Battlefield of Eternity is our first map. This is the third place decider, so obviously there's a bit of prize money on the line, but mainly you're trying to qualify for the playoffs. These qualification tournaments that we have here will grant you points, and the playoffs is where the real deal is. So, for now, we have Washed France, the French-German mix, going up against them, and I gotta say, Washed France have played an incredible game against Nothing Changed. And I really don't know exactly where to rate them and where to rate the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings had a fantastic series yesterday too. More than one. But it's an interesting setup one way or another. Okay, the ban against Li Ming. And actually I talked about it earlier, so apparently Linked cleared that up. In one of the previous games, DAB on Li Ming picked Glass Cannon, and since Blizzard changed the hotkeys, he actually misclicked the talent twice apparently. In another game as well, so that was the reason for the pick, which was actually kind of funny because the second I saw it, I saw it, I was just like, well, Glass Cannon is a little ballsy, and some people are me like, but Khaldor, Glass Cannon is a fantastic talent. And I was like, yeah, sorry boys, but that's a misclick. On a high level, Glass Cannon is a big risk. Not saying it can't work out, but it's a huge risk because against coordinated play, you are oftentimes in a position where a coordinated effort is going to kill you if you have Glass Cannon. Storm League, that's a different scenario, obviously. That's pretty much a shit show where you can get away with anything. I mean, you can get away with Murky and Grandmaster if you want to. So Greymane gets banned out as well. So no Greymane aggression on Battlefield of Eternity against the objective. You're also seeing ETC banned. And I guess some people are going to jump on that and ask it again. Kira is allowed, but she doesn't get played. I mean, she could get played here, but in all the games that we've so far casted from the tournament, this is actually the first bigger tournament where the hero is allowed. Kira wasn't played once. Like, nobody cares about her. To my knowledge, there was one of the first round matches where Kira was actually played. I haven't seen the game, but ever since then, players pretty much disregarded her completely. All of this comes obviously after the recent patch where her numbers were a little bit nerfed again. It's almost like Blizzard releases heroes that are quite strong to get additional data and to sell heroes. Coincidence? I don't think so. Chen and Tyrael are getting picked, so we'll be on Chen, and we're gonna have Breez on Tyrael. The Vala pick for Washed France could lead into an Oriel double support. Well, at least Tassadar too. Zarya, nice. I like this comp. Garrosh and Zarya are just such an annoying comp. I hate playing against it. I love watching it. It is absolutely awesome. And there's the Oriel ban. I mean, again, Oriel would have been great with Vala and also gives you the whip, so you can create a little bit of distance. But then, in addition to that, you can now go into any hero that you really want for that you really want. Well, interestingly enough, another hero that's actually pairing pretty well with Vala, if you want to go for it, is an ETC at the front line, since you can create a bit more space. Now, Garrosh has also some tools. And the Zarya mix makes sense since you have the speed barrier on level 4, so once you have that, Garrosh gets a free shot at everyone that he wants to throw around. There we have the immediate ban against Tracer, and it's Abathar Genji time! Look at that! Okay! Bear cult on Genji. Yeah, Make missing today, so normally it would obviously be Make that plays the hero, but Gia is part of the lineup today, so it seems like Make couldn't make it, and Gia is subbing in today for them. But interesting. Are we going to see a full-on solo support with Abathar and Tyrael just with the shields? Are they going to go full YOLO with this? Could be something. Ah, Blaze and Rhaegar. Look at that front line. Whew! Baby! Yeah, that's a nice one. In Illidan! Haha! Okay. Gia on Illidan, ladies. And Abathar as a solo support. I'm ready for that. Can the Vikings actually pull it off against Washed France of all teams? We're gonna find out now. Battlefield of Eternity is the first map in the third place decider, best of 3. Game on, everybody! Washed France against the Vikings. First map, Battlefield of Eternity, and Hazo opts on Zarya in the first game. Vala played by Nick, Banana H on Rhaegar, Ixion Blaze, and Masquerade on Garrosh. On the right side of the map, the Vikings, aka the Swedes, with Backhold on Illidan, Smexy on Abathur, Wubby on Chen, and Breeze on Tyrael, with Gia on Genji, aka Abathur solo support. On Battlefield of Eternity, by the way. Also, no grenade build for Zarya. Feel the heat instead. A pretty beefy front line to protect Vala. And Vala is by now a hero that we see a lot again, at least in Europe. North America, not really too fond of her. But in Europe, ever since she got buffed, the hero is played a lot. Now, obviously, you really have to pick your battle if you're the Vikings, since you don't have a real support there. Abathur has proved in some games in the past that he can also win games as a solo support. But as we're seeing right now, we even have the pressurized glance taken on level 1, so not even a full focus into a Carapace build. Soma Transference is going to be great with that later on in the game. But let's see if they can actually pull it off, because this is definitely... this is out there. This is something that we didn't expect heading into this. What we did expect, though, was the Monster Hunter on level 1. Arrow build on Battlefield of Eternity for Vala is just too good to pass up upon. Masquerade in a bit of trouble, and there's the kill. Zip! Go in and take him down. Ooh, Backhold nearly punished for this. Now, obviously, if you're going against a team that has... the lineup of the Vikings is just really strong, especially early game. When it comes to aggression and damage, and this lineup is powerful, but once later on in the game, when sustained really matters, and when long poke battles around the Immortals are emerging, then it's really difficult when you do not have a real support that just can top you up again. And your sustain needs to come from different sources then. Tyrael has obviously a shield that is really going to help him, but it is going to be tricky. They're very mobile though, and they're using that to jump on Nick every chance they get. So they want to take Vala down, and they're going to get a kill here again. Everybody's jumping in, but Illidan is now dying too. And the fight isn't over by any means. Feel the heat, baby, as Hazop just stands there and says, ooh, look at that, Tyrael explosion, free energy, nice. And that's an easy double kill. So it's a 2-for-1. They get the camp too. And Nick is already very well aware that he's going to have a rough time. The 13 on Rhaegar is going to make it a little bit easier once the Earth Shield is in. So is the 10, obviously, when we're seeing Bunker and Ancestral healing taken. But yeah, the red team is just going full YOLO. They're just going full aggression. They just simply follow the logic. They can't win the game if they're all dead. That's pretty much what they're intending to do here. But they're already starting to fall slightly behind, and there's the speed barrier, as predicted during the draft, for Masquerade. So they can move in and take them down. Helps, of course, Vala too, to just move out of harm's way. And let's see. Top side, we're having Smexy sitting tight. Ixer still on the lane, pretty much alone, and can therefore put the pressure onto the wall here. Smexy is still dashing around with this. It's going to be interesting after level 10 what exactly he goes for. I mean, there's so many heroes that you can actually copy that are just incredibly frustrating to deal with on their own. But if there's an Abathur copy in, then that's even more. But just look at the lineup. Every single hero here can jump into the backline. They don't have a single hero that is not capable of jumping into the backline and focusing on a specific target. So Rhaegar and Hazobs will have to be on point with their shields and with their heals whenever that happens. And there is already, they're carrying the momentum. Once that we have Sanctification, it's going to become even worse. Vala so far alive, Hazob's isolated, and Hazob's is down. Illidan, the counter kill against him, is ready. And here comes more aggression as the stun connects. Nice jet propulsion, and the Whoopster is dead. Breeze should die too. Breeze is trying to escape, and he actually gets away. There's toxicness too. They're just calling them back. They're saying, like, stop over chasing. Just go for the Immortal and win the objective. And in the meantime, they have done damage to the bottom of the map as they're going in for that too. So yeah, well done. I mean, with this entire setup, it's really crucial for the Vikings to get kills early. The entire lineup that they have depends on it. Go in, run over them, and take them down. And as Illidan goes into the late game, he is going to contribute a lot more. And the one thing that I really just want to say is that in the early game, I think Washed France is going to win this. In the mid game, that's a different story. Once you talk about Chen having the triple panda and about Tyrael having the sanctification, can you imagine how much pressure there is against the heroes in the backline once that all of them jump in? If they coordinate well, and I mean these players have so much experience that the coordination should definitely be on that level, there should be a huge play onto Rhaegar, onto Vala, or anybody else. That triple panda, together with the sanctification and Illidan that just goes rampage, is really scaring the hell out of me. only question is right now, how far is Washed Up going to be ahead when that combo comes online? That's probably one of the bigger questions right now. Because that Immortal has already taken down the fort, and at the bot lane, that fort doesn't look too much better. Like, doesn't look much better. So that's another one. They're already jumping in here for that. Immortal at the top is still going to get a little bit done here. It's not going to get the key, but still, and they're going to go for the kill against Chen. 5 kills against 3. The Vikings need 10. The Vikings need 10, and I'm not sure if they're going to get it before they're so far behind that it's going to be tricky. I mean, just look at the lineup right now. We have a 1.5 level lead at this point. 2 forts down. Washed France is doing exactly what they need to do. They know, of course, that on level 10 they're going to be up against an incredible annoying setup and that it's going to be tough for them and it's going to be much harder. So they exploit the early game as much as they can. Abathur doesn't have the copy up, there's no sanctification, there's no triple panda. Push it as hard as you can. Take the sustain that you have and go for it. Distance to safety is starting to get a little bit bigger though. Even talents right now, not even stats on the other hand, and it's still tricky for the Vikings. Already they're losing Genji, they're gonna lose more. That's the kill against Illidan, and they are retreating. And 7 kills against 3. Coming back to my point, 10 is gonna be the game changer, but how far behind are you gonna be at level 10? I mean, just look at this. Washed France says early game, early game, early game. That's where we have to go for. This is not the Vikings sucking or anything. This is just them playing a composition that highly depends on level 10 abilities. And if you go with that against a different team, against a team that doesn't have as much experience as players like Hazops, for example, or Nick, that might well work. But now it's level 10 abilities and Tyrael goes down as well. It's too much. They get the kill against Ixia though, and they get the kill against Chen, against Genji. So, ooh, what the hell? 2 versus 3. But look at this, they don't have 10 for another level. It's a 2 for 3 kill setup that we have, and the problem still remains. They do not get this level 10 ability anytime soon. And that means that the wall at the bottom is opened up. That means we're talking about another boss, another immortal. And this is going to be a big problem. But it can turn around. It definitely can. They're gonna play an uphill battle from here on out, that's true. But they haven't lost the keep yet. That's important. 2 forts down, that's a problem, but it's important that you at least don't have to face constant catapult pressure from your opponent. Strafe is in, bunkers there, and they're desperately trying to get level 10. They at least need it for the defense. That's another problem. There's a throw, Gia comes in, taunt is through, and that could be a kill, and it is a kill. Nicely done. 12 kills against 4, half a level to level 10. They're trying to get the experience wherever they can. Abathur is probably going to start taking experience here at the top soonish. But they will have to face an immortal with probably 100% shields. It's scary. It's really scary. Ooh. Yeah, there comes the aggression. A little bit. They're trying to delay it for as long as possible so that they have level 10 and can maybe still win this. Are they too far behind once they hit 10? That's the question. There's level 10, and there we go. Sanctification on the ground immediately. Triple Panda could come in now too. They're going straight in for the fight. It's even talents right now. Abathur jumps in with a copy on Genji, double Genji, and the kill against Illidan. They're trying to go for Breeze, and Breeze falls as well. He can move through and try and get some damage in, but it's just not enough. There's a kill, though, at least from Smexy, as he uses his Genji copy, and there's a second one. 2 for 3 trade. Could have been much worse. Wubby still on the run, get some Abathur support. Is that going to be enough for him to survive? I really don't think so. But maybe. Nah, he jumps out and he dies too. At the end of the day, it's a full 5-man wipe, 16 kills against 6, and they're going to lose the Immortal, and it's going to be 100% shields for the opponent. It was really well done by Washed France. They were just way too far ahead at that point already. Even with level 10 abilities on both sides, the pressure on the Immortal and the stats advantage, too much to handle. And you can actually tell, they traded much better in that fight than they did in the previous ones. But it's the early game where Washed France just said, we know what you're up to. We know what you're up to, and we're not gonna let you do it. We're gonna go in and we're going to take you down. And there we have it. Also, what I really, really like here in particular is that now they can force the fights. I mean, Judgment on Tyrael would have been such a horrible choice. If you have a Sanctification, Illidan is just way, way stronger in that sustain, and the Pandas in particular are just absolutely murdering it. I mean, just look at it. They're going in again against Vega, and they can force these fights now, and they can go for really good fights. The problem is just the Immortal that they just lost, because that was a crucial one. That taunt was fantastic, though, and we have Illidan falling. So Illidan goes down, and they're getting chased again. They're lacking a talent. They're 3 levels behind. Washed France won it in the early game. They played fantastic here. Great judgment. Sorry, Sanctification again. Fantastic Sanctification. And it leads to Blaze being killed, but they're still losing the rest of the team here quickly. And of course, the Immortal gets completely ignored. Had full shields and is just now taking down the keep at the top. Yeah, Genji is moving over and is trying to get something done, but that doesn't work either. And they're still killing Breeze on the left side. Breeze goes down on Tyrael, and there's still a 2-level lead. 19 kills against 8. It was a little bit of a trolley comp, but seriously, if the early game isn't exploited by Washed France, then we're looking at a very, very different game. If these guys move into level 10 around the same time, then Washed France has a massive problem at their hands. I mean, there were just kills coming in for Vikings, despite the fact that they were 3 levels behind, which is a gigantic advantage in terms of stats, and obviously a talent advantage too. So a momentum-based comp that never gained the momentum they wanted. Adata, by the way, sitting now on 32,000 damage. So that's pretty solid for him as well. And yeah, game might not quite be over, but it's definitely leaning that way now. It's even talents again though, and if the Vikings have actually shown one thing in this entire game, then it's that they want to fight. They want to fight. They're just starting to move in, and they're doing as much damage as they possibly can. They're having some fun here. I mean, again, Breeze by now is a professional Smite player, has been picked up by one of the top teams already a long time ago. Not sure how much Wubby plays these days, but going up against Washed France obviously means that they have to bring their A game here. And they're trying to. But they're also trying to troll a little bit and have some fun, as you can tell. Full aggression again. Banana H gets in the bunker just before he falls. Might still die now. The Ancestral keeps him alive. Here comes the shield from Tyrael. Breeze with a nice Sanctification again. Has 3 great Sanctifications already, but they're still falling. They're still 2 levels behind, and the coordination that we're seeing from Washed France is great. The bunker was there when it was needed. Ancestral comes through too. And yeah, the full YOLO attempt. It's a fun game though. I mean, it's a fun one. Not maybe... Well, I actually guess that the Vikings are having a lot of fun now as well, knowing all these kids. But now, as they move through the top with a 3-level advantage and also the 16 talent, they might even go for the core. But death timers are too low. Death timers are too low right now. Yeah, so with that, we're having a quick attack straight onto the Immortal. And if they win this, then that would obviously be the end of it. But let's see. That's a halftime show. Easy win. Let's have a look at the talents as well, since 16 came in. And actually, we're having now the Seething Hatred. Finally! Took a long time for a player to actually combine a good arrow build with Seething Hatred. So good for Nick, getting a lot of damage out of this one. No 16 on the other side. As I mentioned earlier, the level 13 for Rhaegar is also going to do a lot against them, since now you get the shield. There's already camp on the top. Illidan is getting wrecked. I mean, it's honestly, Illidan just gets murdered the entire game. How many times did he die? 8 times? Yeah, 8 kills on Illidan. Oh, but Vala is finally down. Finally down after completely murdering them for so long. Chia gets away too. Core is getting attacked in just a second by the catapults. They will be able to defend against that, but Shen is now dead too. So one after another, they're starting to take them down here. Nicely done. We're having also a little bit of a move over towards the boss, and that's at 100% shields if they get it. Tyrael has fallen, so Breeze is dead. Banana H, actually the one that went in for the last bite. But yeah, it was a good comp. Could have worked. Could have definitely worked, but a bit too much. No real support, only Abatha in that position, but a very, very aggressive setup, which was pretty cool here. So yeah, they definitely risked something. Makes me really curious what's going on in game number 2 though. What are they going to aim for in the second game? What's the play there? At the bottom of the map, the Immortal is going to come in with not quite 100% shields, but very, very close to that. And we'll see what exactly he can pull off with this. 25 kills against 9. Yeah, they get a couple out. They're gonna try and drive the fight past the Immortal, wipe, and then deal with the Immortal, but I'm not sure if that's really going to work out here. But it's likely going to be their plan. I mean, they already set Wubby up at the side to make that happen. Gia's there too, and they make the play. Sanctification, again, nicely timed here. They're trying to push it past. Wubby with the triple pandas. They're starting to jump in. They want Vala, and the bunker goes down. Can they get the kill, though? That's the question. Breeze is about to fall, jumps out. Genji is low, and it's not happening. It's just not happening. Illidan with the Metamorphosis, but he's going to fall there. That's kill number 9 against him. Wubby is on the run. They are nearly dead, and that Immortal, with still a few shields left, has gone through the keep and is now moving straight in for the core. Genji down, had to try and go for the defense. Breeze is falling as well. And that is game. That is the lead in the best of 3 series right here for Washed France. The Vikings are going down in the blaze of glory, but they lose the game regardless. So Washed France with the lead in the best of 3 decider here at the HeroesHype Premier Series. GG and well played. Game number 2. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map, and we had a fun composition from the Vikings in the last game. They have a slightly changed lineup here, actually, because Smexy apparently had to go. Smexy, obviously, also the manager of the Fnatic Apex team these days, so maybe his boys needed him there. But who doesn't need a Smexy in his life? And instead, we have Makke here today. So Makke originally not playing today, but maybe... But apparently, he's ready now and can play, so they had to change this slightly. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map. And Washed France have the lead in the best of 3 decider that we have here. I just want to know if the Vikings are going for some crazy lineup again, or if this time they're actually going to go full tryhard. I mean, there's only 2 options for them, knowing these kids. Either they're saying, okay, it's tryhard time, let's just take them down, or they're saying, like, YOLO. But then again, you can only YOLO once, and I think they YOLO'd pretty hard in the first game. Okay, so Sergeant gets banned out against Hazu. Doesn't shock me at all, but it's not really the hero that plays all the time on Tomb. Chen banned this time, so we can't have him jumping into the backline anymore with the triple pandas. How else would he ban against that? I mean, Vala is another pick that I could totally see on the side of Nick again, if you want to ban her out and you're worried about that setup. We'll see. I mean, there's obviously also the front line. Rexa gets banned. Hazu played a lot on this map, but I think with the new lineup, he's not so much focused onto the offlane anymore as he was previously, so Rexa can still be a nuisance. But what else are we having? You could still ban out some of Makke's heroes if you really wanted to. Another hero would be even Diablo. I mean, Breeze has been playing him on Infernal Shrines a little bit and has absolutely destroyed with him. This is another good map for the Lord of Terror. But it's Malfurion, alright. I mean, Malfurion oftentimes an early pick for the roots and the control, the tranquility. And there's the Vala pick. Not bad, and therefore an insta-pick for them. So that's the reason why they didn't ban Vala out on the second position, because they just said, hey, Vala's open, we're gonna go for her. And that's what's happening right here. So, with that, we could see a Tassadar, we could see a Zarya, as we saw in the previous game, just to give her the extra survivability. ETC would pair with that too. Breeze might be happy playing ETC again. And here comes Gul'dan and Johanna. That's a ton of wave clear. That's a skin that I really like for Johanna. It's a little bit weird. Like that Centurion skin with the purple, I actually enjoy that. I actually think that's a cool skin. It's one of the old school skins. Like, I usually have that with her. So, but yeah, coming back to my point, they have an insane amount of wave clear already with their first rotation. Gul'dan and Johanna's is absolutely perfect for that, so that is definitely settled. Vala is obviously adding a lot with the multi-shot too. Okay, Garrosh and Tyrande, they're going into their stun setup again. I mean, Breeze already played Garrosh in... No, actually, he didn't play Garrosh in the last game. Sorry, I'm lying here. Breeze played Tyrael. We saw Garrosh played in the last game, but it was not by the Vikings. The Swedes didn't do that. Now, they can go for the throw into the Tyrande stun and the Hunter's Mark for a quick kill. Might add a mage to the setup too. With that, Wubby obviously is still waiting for his offlaner. I'm honestly waiting for Wubby on Yrel. I'm really waiting for this. I want to see a Wubby Yrel again. We already saw him on the Haka, which was cool. I would say in this case you could see him also on Leoric, but I'm really waiting for the Urel pick. I mean, we had some time in HTC where pretty much every single time he could pick Urel, it was just an insta lock-in for them. And he just dominated with that. Obviously a lot has changed since then, I mean, but still, that would be a pretty fun one to see. Let's just put it like that. That would be kind of nostalgic. It's a weird word to use with something that just happened last year, but still. And of course they're forgetting the ban again, like they did yesterday. Dummies. Alright, so, well, need a support still. Malf is out. Are we going to see Rhaegar with them? Could be happening. Could definitely go for a Rhaegar pick here. Keep the front line alive. I mean, there's more than that, but still. Or Ana. Nah, Rhaegar. Rhaegar and Hanzo. Nick gets Hanzo again. Oh, nah. Oh, no. And what are the Vikings picking? We could still see Tassel as the second support here. It's another one. Blaze for Whoopster. Backhold. Damage or another support for them. Or triple melee. Li Ming, just additional damage. Maka has no problem with survivability. Fair enough. They have the confidence that they need here. Okay. And for the last pick, Washed France. What are we going to see from them? They are in the lead in the best of 3 series. Have an opportunity now to make this a 2-0 victory and claim 3rd place. Great for the points in the standings. And their last pick needs to be an offlaner. What are they going to put against Blaze? Leo, Space Leoric. I'm personally a fan of either the Janitor or the Ice Giant. The Ice Giant with blue and then on a carpet or the balloon. Perfect. Either way, game number 2 set up. 2 on the Spider Queen. Let's see if the Vikings can turn this around and force game 3 or if Washed France takes the 2-0 victory in the best of 3 series. Washed France against the Vikings. Game number 2. Hazu Ops against well, not against, is playing Gul'dan. We have Banana H on Rhaegar, Masquerade on Johanna, Nick on Hanzo, and Ixir on Leoric. The team's in the lead, and they go up against the Vikings with Wubby on Blaze, Breez on Garrosh. We're seeing Gian Tyrande, Backhold on Li Ming, and Maka on Vala. Smexy, as mentioned before, had to leave. Maka subbed in for him, and therefore we have a slight change here, which obviously affected also the roles that they're playing here now. And let's see how we are going to end up with this game here, because there's still a chance that the Vikings are going to bring this back. This is a much more normal composition than what they played in the first game. They definitely YOLO'd hard there, but this is definitely something that's on a completely different caliber than previously. Now I gotta say that Washed France played a great first game. It wasn't necessarily easy. I mean, obviously the strategy of the Vikings backfired, but you still needed to play that pretty close to home in order to make it work from Washed France's perspective. Masquerade barely gets out. So there is a lot of aggression and there's a lot of good coordination coming from the Vikings. And in the first game, a lesser team would have probably gotten wrecked by that after level 10. Since all that dive potential that we had from the Vikings was difficult to deal with. But Washed France did fairly well here. And now they have to prove themselves against a very standard composition from the Vikings with good potential here. I mean, we have stuns on the side of Blaze, Tyrande, and Garrosh, especially after level 10. And in addition to that, also Vala and Li Ming for the damage output, and both of them are already putting in the pain. And Washed France, there's pressure. There's definitely pressure, as you can tell. 4 stacks for Gul'dan at this point. What else are we gonna get from there? Masquerade is sitting tight right there. He is part of the wave clear potential that they have. I mean, they have an insane amount. You have Leo, you have Johanna, you have Rhaegar for the lightning shield, Gul'dan. So it should be quite easy for them also to defend against Webweaver waves. Should probably call it easy, but there's definitely potential for them to make sure that the Webweavers are not getting too much damage done. But for now, we haven't seen a single gem turned in. So not a single gem has been turned in by either side. We're only 2 minutes into the game. Level 4 hasn't even dropped yet. But you can already tell that there's a ton of skirmishes in the middle of the map. And this is exactly what I would expect from the Vikings. They obviously have a couple of players from the former HTC times that are also here to have a bit of fun. They're not fully focusing on heroes anymore, but they are still on a pretty decent level. And they're here to enjoy themselves a bit and testing out how far they can actually go in this tournament. And they might be able to claim the 3rd place after all. So they're going to be aggressive, they're going to try to get those kills, they're going to try to build up some momentum, and they're going to take risks. It's not just them trying to win by all means necessary and play a defensive game. Nope, that's them saying, okay, let's go for it, boys. And by now we're having the level 4 talents in. Dominance, Foley Ming, and also Vala with the multi-shot hybrid as usual. At the same time, consume Vitality into the Ghastly Reach. So the Ghastly Reach is a talent that has popped up on Leoric before. I mean, it's not the traditional level 4 talent to take when you're... Oh, ho, 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 yep, there we go. Combo time, baby! And Nick gets taken down. But yeah, Ghastly Reach is not necessarily the standard talent to take here. But it has been taken in the past, and it can really help you with your level 13 and 16 synergy if you have the increased radius. So we don't have any Neil Peasant plays right there. But now with one kill so far, we have a little bit of momentum for the red team, and they already used that to get 42 of their gems turned in. They're currently 1 shy of completing the entire thing. There we go. They hold 9, so they can definitely get the first turn in. And both of the teams are moving in to get the camp set up here. Okay. For this now, we have at the top lane, Hazop still trying to get some stacks. He's currently only sitting at 9. He doesn't really get a lot of plays yet that he can make. A lot of opportunities for him. Fell Flame is just getting double checked. He knows that Breeze is somewhere on his Garrosh, I mean, obviously. And down here, Berghult is looking for the flank. Yeah, but they're actually starting to gank against Breeze. Has Indomitable level 4 and should be totally fine here. Don't think he's going to have any problems. Both of the teams can go for the turn-in now. Both teams can pull that off, but obviously the Vikings are far ahead here with the 42 gems that they already secured for themselves. So, what do we have at the top? I mean, Breeze is just going for the interrupts. Hazorps needs to fall back, but there's a level 7, and this time on both sides. Calamity is in, and we have again a Khaldor resistance. By the way, Blizzard, you spelled my name wrong. So, with that, another stun attempt against Masquerade. That didn't really work out. But with all the damage that's going to come from Gul'dan later on, that spell armor definitely helps a lot. Starting to move in again as Leo and Blaze fighting out the bot lane. And with moving in, we're talking about the turn-in for Berghult, who completes the first Web Weaver wave for the red team. Level 7 coming in. Oh, Wubby actually trying to steal the camp here away. Yeah, but he's slightly too late. I was trying though. Maybe overstayed his welcome though. Gets slowed and Wubby is about to fall. Wubby's gonna die. 11 gems down. Tried to go for the big boy play, but it backfired hard. And now it's more difficult for them to get any kind of value out of the Web Weavers. It's already annoying enough that you go up against the mercenary camp that was taken in the spell aura. But then you don't have Blaze ready, so you're playing a 4 versus 5 here, so that doesn't work either. Starting to jump in again. Marker was a good 4 move here, but still, that was shield ready. And in they go. Johanna, by the way, with the sins exposed into the Zealous Glare. And Laws of Hope even on level 4, so not even going into the hold your ground here. We try and go for Berghult, the slow, and the kill. Nice. Double kill now for Washed France. Nicely done. And they defend without any problems whatsoever. I mean, they're even ahead in experience right now. And they have all the gems still, so they can start their own turn in their own Web Weaver wave. And guys, this is going to coincident with level 10. If they turn in now successfully, they will have level 10 and they will have the Web Weavers, and that is going to be a disaster for the Vikings. At least it potentially could be. Nice sidestep by Wubby. That drain didn't connect. Masquerade is still looking for an opportunity. 32 gems turned in. They still hold 60. Siege Giant's taken at the bot side. Ixen needs to be careful. 25 gems on Leo. You gotta be cautious here. I mean, he's still fine. But he's trying to turn in. Masquerade, the horrified, the arrow misses. But they keep Johanna alive, and there's the entombment. Oh my god, this is a work of art. But, well, it's no use if it only looks good. Has to do a little bit more for you. And there's the kill against Leo. Should be able to recover the gems at least, and Masquerade is trying to do exactly that. Gets most of them. But that was exactly the kill that they needed. Nicely done. The Vikings, look at that. Level 10 is there. Berkult is pausing the game after getting wrecked in the last fight this hard. They might want to talk strategy here. No, just kidding, obviously. But yeah, level 10 abilities are in. That gives us Strafe. And Vala also went into the full arsenal setup, as she should, in terms of damage and siege damage. We're having her just taking the numbers for the team. It's actually top numbers in the game, at least when we're talking hero damage. Siege damage is looking pretty good too. Up at the top, we're having in the meantime an opportunity to get at least rid of some of the gems, but they obviously don't have enough to get another Webweaver wave. The blue team, since they recovered most of what Leoric lost, still has enough to get that turning completed and the Webweavers into the game. That would be a horrible death though. 40 gems lost. Rhaegar wants to grab some and he doesn't get it. Guys, they just lost 40 gems. They just lost 40 gems. Oh my god. That hurts. Still enough for a turn-in, but losing this many gems is really a problem. That's normally the beginning of the end if you lose this much. Now, to their credit, they defended the first Webweaver wave of their opponent extremely well. So that's at least something. Down at the bottom, Blaze is trying to save himself, and Tomb came out there too, but Wubby walks easily away from 3 heroes, so that gank didn't do anything either. This is a completely different game. Normal build for the Vikings, and all of a sudden they are starting to take a significant... I really don't want to say lead. They don't really take a lead just yet, but the position is just completely different here. I mean, the pressure against Washed Up is so different from what they experienced in the last game. But they still get the kill against Vala here, and that was an important one. And now they might finally be able to get the first Webweaver wave for themselves. But this potential play that they had with the Webweaver wave plus level 10 in the early game, that just never came into play. Wubby is a little bit lucky because 4 seconds and Leo would have had his 10 ready. That would have been a guaranteed kill against Blaze. But Hazorps at least turns in, and there we go. They're actually trying to invade the camp, and uh-oh. Are Gia and Berkult actually going for it? It seems like they do. Even with Vala not there, they're not going for it. They're not greeting too hard here for that. So once again, we're having the Webweavers descend, this time for the blue team. Move to the top, also of course attempting to get enough experience for the level 13 talents to come in a bit quicker. 25 stacks for Gul'dan. Once that Hazorps has that level 1 completed, it's going to be great for them too. Get more damage out of it. Well, Leo's already zoning out the bot lane, trying to at least get one fort destroyed here, and is getting some serious damage done. And this is also true for the middle of the map. Blessed Shields, Horrify. Yeah, both of them are doing enough for them. Both of them not doing enough. 2 heroic abilities used and they weren't able to get a kill out of that. But at least Ixi at the bot lane is doing his best to ensure that they have one fort taken down, and that fort falls. So they have 13, the fort is eliminated, and they broke through the wall in the middle. It's not a complete loss. That's a decent one. They're trying to go for the kill, and Market gets wrecked again. Down he goes. Gul'dan with the kill, Gul'dan with the stacks. Ancestral keeps Leo alive, and they're trying to push it a little bit harder. Rhaegar again with the slows as he drops the totem, and they are pushing them past the fort. They won't be able to take it, but they are dropping some serious damage onto it. So Washed France is starting to carry the momentum into the game again. But it is a pretty powerful setup that we're seeing here. I mean, damn son, they are really, really going for it right now. Especially after the early game that we saw from the Vikings, you have to give some credit to Washed France for how well they've actually started to... Well, they kind of stabilized a little bit after there was a bit of a dangerous period. But the Vikings are coming in with a flank again. Great cleanse from Rhaegar. Really well done. That could have been the end of Hazorps. He's still going to fall because he moved towards the right here. But he doesn't have any gems, so it could have been worse for sure. Well, it could have been Rhaegar that dies. That guy has 11 gems, and he's starting to lose a lot of them. And we might even see another kill against Leo. And he barely gets out, or does he? There's the taunt, and there's the kill. Oh my god, the Vikings with just some superb play here. The arrow! Nick is just saying, screw you. Drops the arrow, drops the kill. Guys, they could get more. They are actually chasing them away from the turning point. Ixia provides the vision on Leo, and look at Washed France. They're not giving this up that easily. No, they go in, they're saying like, well, what you got, boys? Nick with a great kill here against Vala. That was absolutely fantastic. 1 second she was there, the next second she was just gone. Okay, so they prevented the turn-in. There's a single gem that they need to turn in, and they prevented it for now. I mean, eventually that turn-in is going to be secured. 1 gem should be able to, but Masquerade is now turning in the 34 gems that he's still been holding. That's really a relief for him. If you're the tank, you don't want to hold this many. You want to be able to just roam a little bit and try and initiate plays. Talking to initiating plays. Zip! Let me show you a magic trick. Vala comes back and disappears again. I mean, Vala, we can really rename her into Houdini or something. I mean, she is invisible in this game. Well, it's not quite true. I mean, I'm exaggerating, obviously, since Vala still has 46,000 damage and that's the top damage in the game. But there's also 4 kills against her, so yeah, she's disappearing a lot, and pretty quickly as well. And this time the setup that failed earlier just worked perfectly for Washed France. Get the quick blast shield stun out, and then we're having the immediate Horrify. And they get another great stun. And good stacks also for Gul'dan, who's now sitting on 36 stacks. Gets the damage in against Garrosh, and is now also relieving himself of 8 gems that he was been holding. This game is fun. This game is a lot of fun, guys. Bakul gets the turn in, and the red web weavers are coming. Uh-oh, Leo, the taunt, the ancestral, they're fighting. The entomb against 3, but do they have the damage? Ah, they don't. And Gul'dan doesn't have the Horrify. He has another 9 seconds until the cooldown is back. 16 for both of them now. And that obviously gives us also the Ruinous Affliction. Bakul already tasting quite a bit of that damage that comes from him. And here we have it. Red Web Weavers are coming down. Vala, by the way, going into Manticore on level 16, trying to get the extra damage in. Defense is really strong, by the way. The top Web Weaver is already taken down, and they moved into the middle to drop this one as well. And they are all low. Guys, they are all low. That's a good kill against Leo, though. That was a nicely executed kill they have here. And they're dodging most of the damage that comes from Gul'dan now as well. The arrow! Nick is just killing it. What an arrow. Breeze is trying to save Wubby. He himself is in trouble, though. And Nick is just murdering another one. Holy hell. What did they do to Nick? Did they insult his mom or what happened here? I mean, that kid is just not giving them a break. It's a 5-man team wipe. They're completely murdering them. And now they're taking down parts of the wall here, but they still have to defend the bot lane. Unbelievable. That was insane. I mean, I'm not quite sure what happened. Either they insulted his mom or his girlfriend, but Nick is just going in and just destroying them. Kill after kill after kill. He's probably still a little bit angry because they tried to jump him in the last game the entire time, but holy hell. When we're looking towards the damage, he's actually on 59,000 now, pretty much drawing even with Vala. Gul'dan on 26,000. I mean, Hazu spent a lot of time just clearing waves, to be honest. 135,000 for him, which is not quite doubling the siege damage of the other heroes here, but it's getting closer. Blue Web Weavers are descending, and just look at this. They're zoning out the boss completely, and they're timing it perfectly to set up a fantastic push through the top lane. And here comes the counter aggression. 11 kills against 7. The Vikings are going in. Horrify! Horrify the Entomb again! Breeze with a safe attempt here. Breeze with some fantastic plays. But there's the kill as Johanna goes in deep and makes Vala disappear again. The boss is trying to help out too. Blaze is dead, and Nick is on a killing spree. Another kill. He drops Blaze, he's dropping Tyrande, and he goes for even more kills. Gul'dan is jealous and wants to chip in too. Gets the kill against Gul'dan as we're having Ixer with another slow. The mace to the face right there. Bakul gets away, but barely. And now we have Web Weavers in the middle, at the bottom of the map, and a boss plus Web Weaver set up to the top. This could very well be game. This should be game. 4 heroes down, Li Ming the only one surviving here, and they are absolutely murdering at this point. Yep, Keep in the middle is about to fall. The one at the top has already been destroyed down here. We're seeing Bakul still on the run, but who cares? They go for the core. The shields are gone. They're losing everything here. Washed France, they take it. The 2-0 victory for the blue team against the Vikings. They take 3rd place in the HeroesHype Premier Series Qualifier Tournament number 2. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind though that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support and see you guys next time.